Right, what we're going to look at here is how to do the third angle orthographic projection of this object that they've given you two views of. They've given you a front view and a top view. They've told you that you've got a pictorial view. In the question over here, it says the given figure shows a pictorial view. They actually haven't given you a pictorial view because a pictorial view would be a three-dimensional image of it. Okay, so I've drawn out a pictorial view of the object just to show you what it looks like. There we go. There's the right view, there's the front view, and there's the top view. Now, they've asked you in the question to draw a full sectional front view of the object. And that's going to be a bit tricky because, well, they haven't given you a sectional view of it. So what I've done here is I've drawn out a full sectional front view of the object as a three-dimensional thing, just to show how that cutting plane has gone through the center of the object, cut through, and you can see where the saw blade has touched the object, leaving its saw teeth marks. The only problem is over here, you can see that there's this bit over here, the slopey bit over here. That's called a web, and when we're doing a orthographic projection as a section, we don't section the web part of it. Okay, right, let's get going and start drawing the front view of this thing. Normally what I would suggest is that you would go ahead and you would try and find the view that you've got the most circles in, but right now we don't actually have a view that we can copy, so I'm going to suggest that we go ahead, we copy this front view as best we can, draw it as a sectional view, and then we can go on and draw the right view from that. Right, let's start. My first step is I would suggest draw a center line. All right, doesn't really matter how long that center line is. And we're going to work from that center line. Okay, there's my center line going over there. And it says that I've got a 12mm diameter over here. They also say in your question over here that you are to use a scale 2:1. So whatever measurement you see over here, you must automatically double it. Well, first of all, let's just write in support where it says title, write in the scale 2:1. Please don't forget to actually write the word scale. And then you've got to draw that little symbol showing that it is a third angle orthographic projection. There are a whole bunch of marks over here, normally 2 marks there, 2 marks there, and 2 marks here. So don't forget those little bits of information down at the bottom. Okay, after you've drawn that center line, I'm going to take my 12mm measurement, 12mm, come along to my center line, and I'm going to draw a little arc over there, little arc over there. I know that I can now go ahead and I can draw in a construction line coming across over there, a construction line coming across over there, and I know that I've got 24mm because I measured off 12mm, and doubling it would be 24. So once I've got that, I look up here, it says 4 plus 4 plus 12, and that gives me 20. So I measure off 20mm. There we go, measured off 20mm. Come over here, 20mm plus 20mm gives me my 40mm that I need, and I can draw a line coming down over here and a line coming down over there. And there is that cylindrical part drawn in over there. I extend that out at the back over here. And we can measure from the top of this object, which is, sorry, we haven't done that, 20mm. Let's measure off 20mm again. 20mm going up there, and 20mm going up there. That's the 20mm diameter. You'll note that from there to there is 40. So I've got the correct cylinder shape that I need. Just a construction line and a construction line. I can actually draw that line in dark to start with. we're going to move from the center down 24 millimeters, it says. So measure off 24 millimeters. Go to that center line, mark that off there, go down again, 24 millimeters. So we've got 24 plus the 24, and that will give us that line going across there. There we go. Okay. Okay, once we've got the 24 millimeters coming down, it says 14 millimeters. Measure that off very accurately from my line over there. 14 millimeters and 14 millimeters over there. And I can draw in my line over there. And I can then draw in a line going from the top to the bottom of this thing. It says that I have this base over here that is 4 plus 4, so that would be 8 millimeters. Oops. Measure off 8 millimeters accurately. Go over there, there, and there. And I can draw in a construction line coming up over there. It says from my line over there, I can come all the way across. That's 44 millimeters, it says at the top there. So I measure off 44. Let's just measure that very quickly. 44 millimeters. Let's go 1, 2 across to there. And drop a line going down there. Okay, we've got this line coming across from there, and I can now measure it down. It says 4 millimeters down. Let's go there. Okay, 4 times 2 would be 8 millimeters, so I'm going to measure off my 8 millimeters. Measure that over there. Come in over here. Do a construction line coming across there. Oops. Let's drop my pencil. It says that I need to come down another 6 millimeters. 6 multiplied by 2 would be 12. 12 millimeters from there, coming down to there. I can draw that in. And that little piece at the bottom, it says that that's 8 millimeters. So I can come over here and measure off 8 millimeters. Multiplied by 2 would be 16. Measure that off. Mark that off over there. And I now have what I need for this front view. Right, I can draw in a line going up there. A line going across over here. A line going straight up there. A line coming across to that little story over there, which is, that's 4 millimeters, they say over there. So I need to drop that line down. Okay, remember I measured the 4 millimeters and the 4 millimeters, which was giving me the center of that. If you don't know where the center of that is, probably the quickest and easiest way of getting that would be just to draw a line from the corner there and from the corner there. Where those two lines intersect will give you the exact center of that, which is what you're needing. I can draw a line going up over here, from there to there. I can draw a line coming across from there to there. I can draw a line going across from there to there. And I can draw a line from there to there, there to there. Come up to the cylinder part, draw a line going across like that, draw a line coming down like that, and I can draw these two lines going across like that and across like that. I've also got that slopey bit over there. They say that that is 16 millimeters going out from there to there, so I measure off 16 millimeters as fast as I can. 16. once, 16 twice, and I can drop a line coming down from there in order to get the intersection of where that slope comes down. From there to there is where my slope is. And now what I need to do is I need to do the hatching of this thing. Let's just have a look at what the view looks like. You can see the hatching where it's going, except for that web. I need to do that hatching. So how do I do that? I take my 45-degree set square, I come over here, and I draw as fast as I can the hatching going across this front view to show where that saw blade cut through things. Does it matter which direction this hatching goes in? No, it can go in either direction. It really won't make any difference at all, just as long as you get the equal spacing. I'm using the bevel of the ruler over here in order to get that equal spacing. Note I've got hatching over there. I can see that I can come down to the bottom over there and do a bit of hatching there as well. Hatching there. Try to save yourself time by not having to go back and hatch parts that you can hatch by just continuing your line from one part to the next. There we go, up to where the web is. I'm not hatching that web, as I said. There we go. Oops, let's just go back over here. I can do that part as we're going across rather than maneuvering my ruler too many times. There we go. Keep going. There. Note that I'm pushing my pencil when I'm doing the hatching. You'll find that your accuracy is much better. It's like a car driving to a stop street. You slow down before you hit the stop street, and it's much quicker that way. Start there. You can slow down just at the end so that you don't go over the lines. Start on the line and slow down. There we go. That is my front view completed. Right, in the next video that I do, I'm going to be looking at getting the right view of this object over here, and I will do that now. Right, in the previous video, what I looked at was how to draw that front view. They've asked you for this question to do a right view, but they ask you to do a sectional right view on this cutting plane AA, which you've got over there. What I would do is, to start with, draw in that cutting plane on your front view so that you know what you're doing. And here we go. I'm going to measure off. They say that that is 12 millimeters. Come along here. 12 millimeters multiplied by 2 would be 24 millimeters. Come in over here to my center line, mark that off on that center line, and draw in your cutting plane. Remember to thicken in the end of that line, thicken in the end of that line, and then you can draw in your arrows. Quite longish arrows over here. They're not dimensioning arrows, they are for the section line. You can make them a little bit bigger than your normal dimensioning arrows. There they go. Okay, try and make them a little bit bigger, and you can label that as A, just as they've done on their drawing over there. Right, once we've got that, we now go along here and we say, well, there's my center line coming out, and I'm going to draw in a center line over here. And a center line over here. Once I've got my centers, well, I can now take my measurements straight off this view. There we go. There's the outside of that cylinder. Go to the center over here and draw in the outside of the cylinder. Right. I've drawn dark all the way, and I'm going to be rubbing out a small portion of that because we need to do some sectioning on it. But just for now, I'm just going to draw it in dark. There we go. Go to the center and draw in that little circle on the center. There are the two stories over there. Right, once we've done that, well, I come along here and I can draw in a construction line coming across from that point over there. In fact, I'm just going to try and do this with a bit of color, then you can see where these lines are coming from. There. And there. Note, I'm not taking that part out. Why? Because my cutting plane is going through there. And if I'm standing on this side looking across, well, this whole section has been taken away, so I don't need to take that across. It's just where that cutting plane cuts through that point and that point that I'm taking across to get that piece over there. My cutting plane doesn't go through this part, but I'll still definitely be able to see that. So I can take that part across into my right view over there. And once I've got that, well, and then look over here and I see, well, it says that it's 30 millimeters for the full width of it. So I go to my center line over here. I set my pair of compasses to 30 millimeters. Okay, which I need to double. So 30 millimeters on that side, 30 millimeters on that side would give me my 60 millimeters across there. I can now draw a line going up over here, a line going up over there, and I can draw a line going across the bottom over here, that, a line coming from where it cut the cutting plane across there, across there. And then you'll see that there are these pieces of material. They are sort of webs going up to the cylinder, and I can draw those in using a line which makes a tangent to the actual circle itself, all the way up to a tangent. Note it doesn't stop on the center line, it makes a tangent to the circle, and same story over here. Make sure that you get that tangent just touching that circle up there. Right, once I've done that, well, what is being sectioned over here? The circles, definitely. There's one part that I haven't drawn in yet, and that is this web part over here. I'm going to stop with that. I'm going to draw the top view, and then I'm going to come back to drawing the left view. Right, my next video, I'm going to do the top view, and then come back to doing that, sorry, not left view, the right view of this object. Right, it's drawing the top view of this orthographic projection that you've been asked to do. They ask you basically just to copy out exactly what you've got over here as your top view. I've managed to draw the front view and the right view, or partially drawn the right view. I haven't quite finished the right view, but I'm going to use this top view in order to finish off that right view over there. Right, let's start out. I'm going to draw lines going up from the front view. There we go. From there, from there, from there. Draw a line going up over there. Come across over here from the end of that wedge, from the base part over there, from that. I think that I've got everything except for that. There we go. That's all of the lines taken up from this story over here in order to be able to draw that top view. Right, I now have my right view already drawn in over here, and it would be much easier to transfer information from this. All the widths over here are going to be the same as the widths that I'm going to get over there. How do I do that? Well, I always say draw a line going up. Let's see whether I can draw a line going up over there from the edge of this right view. You'll note that there's about a 20 millimeter gap between these two views over here. I want the same sort of gap between the top of this front view over here and a line and the base or the edge of the top view. So I'm going to draw a line about 20 millimeters away from that. Okay, it doesn't need to be exactly 20 millimeters. They like you to make it 20 millimeters. Once you've got that, you've got an intersection over there that you can take a 45-degree line coming out from. Okay, this is all done in construction lines. I'm using a red crayon in order to do that. Once I've got that 45-degree line, well, I can take lines coming up from here, take them across, and I'll be able to find all the intersections that I need. Okay, let's find the back of this object. If I take a line from that point over there, going up to my 45, take a line going across over here, I'll be able to find the back of this object. So I can then draw in a line going like that, a line going like that. There you go. That's that edge over there and that edge over there. I can then draw in a line coming across like that, a line coming across like that, and you can see that I've got that edge, that edge, that edge, and that edge. Right, the next thing that I need to do is to get the front of this cylinder part. Okay, there's the line coming up from the front of the cylinder. Let's take lines from the edges of that cylinder going up over here. Whoops. There we go. Up to there. Edge of the cylinder up to there. Take that across over here. Take that across over there. And I know that that cylinder goes through to the back. I'm not going to draw those lines in right away. I'm just going to draw the front of that cylinder. And you'll see why I don't want to draw the lines going straight back over there and over there. The reason being is that I want to see where this intersection of this sloping bit actually intersects. You'll see that they have actually drawn a line going straight the way across. That's not actually correct because it doesn't go to the center line. Note where the intersection is of that tangent. It's actually slightly to the side of it. So I'm going to take that up. I'm just going to do that in green so you can see the difference. There it is going up just next to, but not touching that red line. And the same story over here, going up just next to, not touching that red line. And I can now take those across over there and over there. I can now draw lines going from there to there and from there to there. Okay, there's the sloping bits that are actually going to intersect slightly further in because of the tangent, and these lines over here are going to be slightly on either side of that, and that is correctly done. You can see that little tag in there and that little tag in there. There's the cylinder on the outside of this thing going through. What I do need to show is the center circle over there. That needs to be done in hidden detail. So I take a line coming from that center up to there, from that center circle at least, going up there and up there, take that across, and I've now got hidden detail, which is going to go across over here. There's the hidden detail for that center hole that's going through that pipe. There we go. Okay, very importantly, my center line needs to be taken up over here. That gets taken across over here, and I can now draw in a center line. Right, there's my center line going through there. I would suggest that you actually continue that through there. And you could actually thicken in the end over there and thicken in the end over there. And we can draw little arrows showing the cutting plane for our front view. Just draw in the arrow over there and an arrow over there. And you can write in B and B over here. Just extend that out a little bit. Right, you've got your cutting plane for the front view. I need to put in a little bit more hidden detail over here. There's hidden detail which is coming across over here. There we go, hidden detail there. There's a bit of hidden detail over here. Coming up from that piece at the bottom over there. What I don't have is this, this wedge thing, so I need to take that up. And it says that that little wedge thing is 4 millimeters. So I measure off my 4 millimeters very accurately. There we go. Measure that off 4 millimeters. Go to that center line. Measure that off 4 millimeters on that side. Sorry, I just touched the little wheel there. So, and 4 millimeters on that side. And I can draw in that little piece of webbing over there, or that web going across over there to that point, and across over there to that point, and drawing in from where that wedge is. There we go. That is that that web. Okay, that goes across all the way to this point over here. So I need to draw hidden detail coming across over here. Hidden detail coming across over here. And I've got hidden detail which is going to go up to that web from there and up to that web from there. Right, so there's that hidden detail going to that hidden detail over there. I now need to take that across and down to get that same little web onto my right view over there. There we go. Drop that down over here, and I can draw in my web, which is going to be over there and over there on either side. Oh, I didn't do that very accurately. Please work accurately. There we go. Okay, that little line that I drew in there, you can see I didn't use my 45-degree line very accurately, and you can see what I've got there is not quite right. So I'm going to just take that line out. It's a pretty cool thing. Note the circle over here. I'm going to erase that little piece of the circle. Okay. Reason being is that we need to hatch that. And also this line over here. Take that out. And I can now just repair these lines a little bit. There. Going up to that corner. And always remember, if you've rubbed out, just repair the lines. There we go. And I need to do the hatching on this thing with my 45-degree set square. That, and we're just going across as fast as we can with my hatching, using that bevel to get that spacing correct. There we go. Keep going. Over the line there a bit, that would be a bit of a problem. If you do, please go back and just repair that with an eraser and an eraser shield. Otherwise you could lose some marks. There we go. There is your sectioned left view of the object. There it is as a three-dimensional drawing. You can see how that part has been removed, and I'm left with that section view over there. Right, there we go. There is the entire drawing done. Don't forget all of that information at the bottom as well.